Hello everybody, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! From Ohio, here to bring you my What's Up Wednesday, episode 16. That means we've been doing this about 4 months, I guess. I think I started it 1st of January, don't know. But anyway, it's episode 16 is what I have. And I just want to tell you a couple Stampin' Up! Things before we get started on our What's Up Wednesday, and I'll let you know all about that in a minute. But first, I want to let you know that on May 2nd, Stampin' Up! Is going to have a sale, a flash sale. It's 20% off of selected scrapbooking materials. It says select memory keeping product is what it says. Also, I'll let you know that when the May product of the month comes out, it's going to be printed vellum. It's going to be called Berry Botanicals. So you can go by the name of that on basically what it's going to be. That's all the details I have on it. It will be $5 with a $75 order. And the next thing from May 5th to May 31st is they're going to have a join offer, and you can join Stampin' Up! For $99 and get the $125 worth of free product, which is what their basic join offer is. But with that join offer, you can they will send you for free the whole set of the in-color ink pads, which is a great deal because our ink pads are going to be $14 a piece. So, you know, that's a pretty good savings. If you didn't want the ink pads, then you could get $35 extra in product. So I wanted to let you know that, just in case you wanted to join up. I'd love to have you on my team. I'm trying to grow my team. I need to grow my team a little bit. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you all of that. And also the new catalog will be out May 5th, along with the new May online exclusives. So be watching for that. And I'm going to bring you a card today. I'm actually going to make a card with you now that I feel better and that I am back into the swing of making some cards. So what I'm going to do is actually a technique, and it is, you know, it just went out of my brain what it is. What is it? What is it? Some people call it grunge stamping. It's, you know, just layered items on a sheet of paper. I'm going to do that with one stamp set, and I'm going to do it with Nature Symphony, which is already out, but it's being carried over into our new catalog. I haven't used mine yet, so I wanted to use it, and I decided to do this. I'm using the new in colors with it, and layered everything, and then I embossed it. So we're going to do the card. I'm going to show you what it looks like not embossed, and then I'll emboss it so you can see the difference. But I already have one card made for a sample, so I'm going to turn my camera down, and we are going to go ahead and we're going to get started on that, okay? So let's turn them down. Turn them down. I will have to get my monitor kind of set up, just because I like to see and make sure that I'm where I want to be in the camera. Well, where I want to try to be in the camera. Let's get it right. So let me just make this bigger so I can see it. Okay, here's my card, and it's with the Nature Symphony, and I'll show you the stamp set. It's this right here, and I used these 3 stamps as far as building the texture on the paper before I embossed it, and I used this saying, and then I also did the inside where I just stamped a leaf, because you can write over that and it can be seen, to decorate the inside. So let's get started. I'm going to be using the same colors that I did there. I will need a scrap piece of paper. Here's my card materials. And I will be using the ribbon. This is the Peaceful Pine ribbon. That's where I put this little knot on here. This was actually a die I used on this one, but I'm not going to use it this time. We're going to simplify a little bit and not use a die, but let me show you those dies. They're these right here, and I used this. So we have different dies here, and this one does the big stamp, and that one does the little curved stamp here. Then we just have these extras. So really, really nice. So let me lay those down so I don't lose anything. Don't want to lose anything if I can help it. So I am ready to get started. I have my card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So let's just go ahead and fold that. I'm not going to be using the glue, so I'm going to move that out of my way for right now. Okay, and then what I have here, I have a piece of, this is basic beige. I'm using basic beige 5 by 3 3/4 with a mat of 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, and I offset that over into the corner. I kind of like the look of that, of just a little something different. So we are going to get started just making our card, and of course I got that backwards because of the way I folded it, but we'll get it straight. And this is my scrap. So let me pull this in. I'll be needing that. I'm going to sit this right here. And I'm going to put my big stamp in first. Okay? So I'm going to take my Peaceful Pine. I'm going to ink my stamp. And since it's big, I'm just going to, and I think I just got ink on my fingers. These stamp pads, I'm not used to being that thin. And I get my fingers in the way because I got big fingers. So, I get ink all over me. Well, I'd say. So, let's do this. This is a textured technique. That's what I was wanting to call it, and I just now thought of it. So, I'm going to ink this. And I'm going to press pretty hard. And then I'm going to pull it up. And I'm going to ink it, just offset it. And there's a little bit of green ink on there, and I'm just offsetting that to do that. Now I'm going to bring my card base in, because while I've got that out, I'm going to ink the inside of my card. So I'm going to ink this up again. And then I'm going to stamp off and make it light. So let's just go ahead, and I want that at an angle. And there we go. So we have the inside of our card already stamped. So let's get back to this one. I'm going to go ahead and clean these as I go. I hope, because I'm going to use some of them a couple times. So now we're going to bring in Golden Glow. Whoops, I just hit that camera hard. It didn't fall off though. I'm pretty happy about that. So now I'm going to use this, I don't even know what this is. It is a, just texture, that's all it is. And I'm stamping off with it, because it will dry lighter, but just going to add a little bit here and there. There we go. Let's put a little bit right here. There we go. Doesn't look like much right at the moment, but that is our Golden Glow. And when it dries, you can see it's lighter on here, so you really barely see it. But it looks really pretty. It just gives it some texture. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the crisp cantaloupe. And I'm going to take this same stamp and I'm going to stamp off with it and just add some more of this. But as you can see, I'm just going to add it all over because it's really light. Now, if I would make a mistake and not stamp off, it's not the end of the world. So, just want to let you know that. There we go. So now we have some of that. I'm going to keep the crisp cantaloupe out. I'm going to take this flower here and I'm going to ink it up, and I'm going to ink these full strength. Well, maybe. Let's put this over here out of my way. That'd be a smart thing to do, don't you think? And as you can see, I'm just randomly stamping. I know that really gets stamped off on a couple. So now I'm going to add some more. And there we go with those. I'm going to clean this off. And I am going to use the hydrangea hue and cover this one up. And then I'll see, once I get this done, I'll see if I need to do anything else. Okay? So let's take this same leaf. I'm going to stamp off and add some blue in here. And I'm just filling up spaces. And as you can see, I got a darker blue there where the tip of it, I didn't get all the ink off of it. And you don't have to put ink everywhere. See, I almost made a mistake there. And there we go. We have some blues on there. So there we go. Now that is basically done with all the stamping that I did on the first one. And that's what I've done on the second. As you can see, I got a lot of dirty paper. Got ink on my thing. Let's wipe it up and get it on my fingers. So I don't think I'm going to need that anymore. So here's the difference. As you can see, this one is not embossed. It's just flat looking. This one is embossed with the brick embossing folder we have. And that's what that's embossed with. So you can see a little bit of the difference. It kind of calms it down for one thing. And it just looks really, really pretty. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to run it through the embossing machine just real quick. And I think I'll use a different embossing pattern just so you can see a little bit of the difference. I don't know that I'm going to like it as well because I really like that one, but you know what? We need to see the difference and stuff. So that's what we're going to do. So let me get this all ready. I have to change it over the plates because I got to use the 3D plate, number 1 and number 4 for this. And there you heard me finish. Big old clunk. And on this one, it's more prominent, I think. It is the birch wood that I've used on it, so you can see all of the different. So it looks a little bit different. Let's go ahead and put it on our green. And this is just textured backgrounds. And you can do them with any stamps. You can make a texture background out of anything. I just want to use one stamp set and do it, so that's what I did. And I have to say I like it, so let me get this one here. Now there are no directions. I don't do PDFs on Wednesday. I can't even keep up with the other ones at the moment. So, but there are the sizes. I will tell you again, the card base is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, what we usually do. The basic beige that we stamped on is 5 by 3 3/4 with a matte out of the Peaceful Pine that's 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And what I did with this is I popped it up on the front of my card. So let's get us some dots here. Just get us a few dots here and there, because I want it to stand up really good. So we have our dots. Let's peel. I don't have any fingernails, so. And I sure don't want, I would love to have fake fingernails because they're pretty, but then I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to craft with them, so I don't have them. So now I'm going to put this one over here in this corner because I like the way this looks with the corner style. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to use the same stamp, You Make Me Smile. I really like that. And we're going to use the Peaceful Pine, which is right here. And You Make Me Smile. I like that. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to cut off a straight edge. I'm not real good at that all the time, so I'm putting it on my paper trimmer. And on this one, I'm just going to cut a small little tag in here. So I went up the middle with my scissors, and then I'm coming in from each corner and made me a little tag that I am going to probably put about right here. But before I do that, I did this with, just tapped it on my pad. But I think with this one, I am going to take and add some with the blending brush. That's what I was trying to spit out, with a blending brush. So let's do that. So I'm just going to barely go around it. And there we go. We have that. And that's also going to be popped up. I like to pop. We are about done. This is a little bit longer than what I like my What's Up Wednesdays to be, but that's okay. I'm going to stick this right over here. Then I'm going to take my ribbon, and I'm not even going to cut it off the spool. I'm just going to take and bring that edge through. And as I do that, I'm going to pull on my left to try to get my knot to be flat, or as flat as I can. And then we will put that on my, we'll take a couple glue dots and put on there. Oh, that's washi tape. There we go. Make sure that's not going to show on the front. And I'm going to trim this side. There we go. I'm actually going to put it on this way. So I just put it right there on the end of that tag. Yep, got it on the end there. And then we're going to add some of the, what do I do with them? Oh, set them back over here. I don't know why I did that. But these are the new in color butterflies, and I love them. That's why I like to use the new in colors, because I like these butterflies. So let's add some butterflies to our card. And I think I'm going to add some of these little ones. I haven't used the little ones yet. So let's add some little ones down here. And then we'll add some big ones up here. Well, if I can get it to stick. And we're going to add one more. We'll add a green one. Add another green one. We'll put him up there. Okay. So there we go. We have our card done. So these are textured. It's a textured technique. It makes your card look textured. You can take one stamp set and you just, I know it's hard for people sometimes, put your focal point on there and then just stamp around it with your other stamps kind of sporadically. So there's the two I made. This one has a little piece of, kind of stepped up, but we added a die cut here. This one we kept more simple. And that's my two cards. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the technique, and I hope you try it. You can do this with flowers. You can do it with objects, you know, like the Gears and Textures was a great stamp to do this with. I should have did that one. And then, you know, whatever you want to do, you can do a textured stamp, textured background. And it always looks good to emboss it. It just gives it a little bit more depth. But you don't have to. You don't have to emboss it at all if you don't want to. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed What's Up Wednesday. Remember, I'll be back with a Saturday video. And I don't know what I'm doing on that one yet. It's not done. So, but it will be some kind of simple card. I can say that. And I hope you come back and enjoy it. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up or, you know, a like or whatever. Join my groups for me. That's a great thing. If you're on my business page, Stamp Crazy by Rita Holmes on Facebook, go down and give me a review. And I would very much appreciate that. So just wanted to let you guys know all that. That's stuff that ways you can help me in my business. So I will talk to you all later. Be creative when you can, and I will see you later. Bye.